Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and WYW faithful, welcome to WYW Off the Books. The only podcast which delves into the minds of our athletes before an upcoming mega event. Now here is your host, the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Casey Gallagher.
Again, everyone, and welcome back to WYW Off the Books. I'm the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Casey Gallagher, and it's time once again to dive into the minds of our athletes, see what makes them tick with Immortal on the horizon. With that in mind, my guest at this time has had a bit of a troubled past, to put it very mildly. He's been fighting to put his demons behind him most, if not all, of his adult life, and he's decided to let his fists speak for him for most of his career, but he has kindly agreed to this sit-down today. He will be competing at Immortal against the London Devastation alongside the legendary Taka Michinoku in a tag team match for the ages. Please welcome today's guest, the Lycan, Victor Sagat.
Hi.
Simple and clean, I like it. Okay, first thing I want to get to. What exactly does it mean to you to finally be able to compete at a super show of this magnitude, especially with a living legend at your side like Taka?
What it means to me? What it means to me? Let me see what it means to me. Everything. It's what we wrestle year-round for. It's everything we do as entertainers. To get to the big time, to go and show the world what we actually are made of. And to be able to wrestle with Taka, no less, is legendary, to say the least.
And that match in itself will no doubt be legendary. If it's alright with you, as I've said earlier, you've had a bit of a troubled life, to say the least. But if it's alright with you, I'd like to delve into that a little bit. Could you tell us about how you grew up, some of the things that made you into the person you are today?
Well, that's a story in itself. Let's see. When I was 1.5, I was taken away from my mother. Put into the foster care system. Torn away from all that I loved. To be put with people whose main purpose in life was to torture, beat, and humiliate me to the point where I don't know if I would have been sane, let alone alive, for these types of events or interviews, if you would like to call them. I like to call them talks, because what do we do in an interview? We talk. But to get into my past would be diving deep into the darkest part of my psyche, where people like you, normal people like you, would think would be the most insane part of life. It is something where I grew up is something of the dark side of the world, if you understand my meaning. It's the underbelly of society where life does not, how do I say this? Does not like to show the good. It only shows the bad in people. I mean, growing up the way I did would be probably the worst case scenario for all of humankind if life was like that outside of the wrestling business. It is what drives me to become better. It drives me to perform better. It makes me feel like if I don't put out 100%, 120% in these matches, then what's the fucking use? I have no use for, let's just say, weak thoughts or crying. Crying has never done anyone good. Bitching about my past would be something that I would never stand for. I hope you understand when I say this, that I only tell you about my past because you've asked so politely. Other than that, if anyone had ever asked me about my past, they would have gotten a steel chair to the face.
Ouch.
So, to be perfectly clear, I like you, Casey.
Well, thank you.
So, you will be getting the answers you seek.
At your leisure, then.
For one, the first foster home I was in, they liked to torture me. Think of anything. Let's go into war terms. Think of anything against the Geneva Convention types of torture. They would put that type of strain and that type of stress on me. They would love to tear me apart, just to let me rest and tear me apart again until there was nothing left. They break me down every day, day in and day out. But as you can tell, I am here. So life goes on.
Indeed it does. There's a rumor going around, and again, you know how people talk in the wrestling industry.
Yes.
There's a rumor going around that you are self-taught as far as in-ring product. Is that true?
That is very true. As I grew up, I taught myself many things, but the wrestling was one of those things that I taught myself. I am I'd like to call myself a practitioner of wrestling. It's just more of a flashy way of saying I do wrestling. People who like to say that type of stuff. They're like, I'm a practitioner. You wrestle. Get over yourself. That's basically how it is. Everyone in the wrestling business says, I'm a practitioner of this, I'm a practitioner of that. If it's wrestling, you wrestle. But let's say, talk about like fighting like UFC or something like that, it would be, you're a practitioner of a martial art. That is a completely separate issue, because to be a practitioner in a martial art, you'd have had to practice years upon years upon years perfecting your craft. This is more entertainment. This is an entertainment factor. It's not a, how do you say, life or death situation. In certain aspects of this business are not life and death. Like, let's say, the moves that we do, we could die doing them. But it's for entertainment's sake. The moves that like UFC fighters do, they train those to hurt, to brutally beat someone into submission. It's more or less like that. And that's basically why I base my style of wrestling off of UFC and beating people into submission.
And with that in mind, perfect segue, Victor, thank you. Can you describe your training regimen and how you decided to start working in the wrestling industry? Because you are obviously a very well-built man. There's got to be some sort of, strict regimen that goes into that.
Well, before I became a wrestler, I went into the military. Most people don't know this. It's not stated out there that they don't know that I went into the military. I went into the military and became a, this is military talk, so not everybody knows what that is. 0331, which is a machine gunner. So my training regimen is carrying around machine guns every day, lifting those heavy pieces of equipment around.
You're talking like Browning automatics and chain guns?
No. Those are different styles. Chain guns are usually on the Chinooks and like big helicopters. What I'm talking about is like M240, 50 cals, or Mark 19s. Those types of weaponry I carry around when I'm at work. Not work because this is my job.
Yeah.
But like when I was in, that's what I'd be carrying around, and that's my training regimen. To carry something as heavy as those things, doing squats, ab workouts, lifting. I go to the gym every day. It's my routine to keep myself in shape, that type of shape where I am built to be a monster and built to destroy. That's what I do. And how I became a WYW contender was years and years ago. Michael X, actually, and James the Archangel found me in Miami. Not where I'm originally from. Where I'm originally from, my hometown would be the Bronx in New York. But most people can't tell because I don't have the accent. It's not something that comes out very often. My accent stays hidden. But most of the time, it's I'm based out of Miami, Florida.
Yeah, I think they said they found you in Ronin Pro Wrestling?
Yes, that's where I came from. I mean, wasn't the best type of work I did back then, but now I can say I'm doing good product work.
Obviously, you were doing good enough back then to catch their eye.
Yes. No, what I'm saying about the product in Ronin Wrestling, not talking trash about the company or what they built for themselves. I'm saying, personally for me, I felt like I could be doing better. I mean, yes, I caught their eyes, and they brought me into this wonderful business. But what I was saying is that, for me, what I was doing back then was subpar compared to what I'm doing now.
I can understand that. And with all that said, I think this is a perfect time to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll get Victor's thoughts on the Gold Rush tournament and his debut match with Michael X. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
If you guys are into the underground hip-hop scene, please check out my cousin MC Solar Wind on YouTube.com, SoundCloud.com, and other social media platforms.
Reason to go on, cause it's lonely on my own. I chose to leave my home, cause I thought that I had grown. My paper stack high, so high, but not cash though. My mind works quicker than most, guess why I rap for? I write lyrics backwards, didn't catch it, hit the fast forward.
You can check out all of his hits from his mixtape Classic.
And it's all real. Underground past the pavement, we be wildin' on the corner freestyling.
To his second mixtape, I Am Solar Wind.
Breathe out, face, breathe in, breathe out, goes, breathe in, breathe out, fire, breathe in, breathe out, focus.
Along with all the rest of his music on SoundCloud.com/MC-Solar-Wind.
Didn't get the best cards, play whatever's given us.
Make sure you give some props to my cousin and tell him that James sent you here.
Praise, but give credit when credit's due. Lately I'm feeling I should stop saying lately. My thoughts is timeless, won't be here if you page me.
Love you, Ty. Keep doing you, man.
Solar Wind.
Proud sponsor of Weymouth Youth Wrestling.
This is a public service announcement by Radio Massasoit. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Texting on your phone while you're driving. You don't think there's anything bad that could come about it? It's just a simple text, right, that you're sending out to a friend? But what happens if you hear this? That's you in a car crash. And pretty soon, you're going to be leaving behind your family, friends, and loved ones. Next time when you're on your way to school, Wait until you're off the road to text someone. This public service announcement about texting and driving was brought to you by Radio Massasoit, where success starts here. Labeled one of the best rock bands in recent memory and future rock and roll Hall of Famers, Disturbed are back with their newest album, Immortalized, featuring their hit single, The Vengeful One. Other tracks on this album include Fire It Up, Save Our Last Goodbye, Legion of Monsters, the official WYW Gold Rush quarterfinal theme songs, Never Wrong, and The Brave and the Bold. And the official premiere event, WYW Immortal theme songs, The Light, and Immortalized. Download the full album now on iTunes and on Spotify. Disturbed, Immortalized.
Proudly sponsored by Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Welcome back, everyone. This is, well, if you don't know me, you can go fuck yourself. Honestly, this show is the best thing since sliced bread. If you don't know that, you can also go fuck yourself. And today, we have our host, Casey Gallagher, everyone.
Thank you, sir. We are back with the Lycan Victor Sagat. So, now we come to the Gold Rush tournament. What exactly are your thoughts? I mean, not to rag on you, but you were eliminated kind of quick in what I consider to be an excellent performance. Very much opened the door for future opportunities down the line. I see you as a future title contender. So, thoughts on the tournament as a whole?
I mean, for one, I view the tournament as everyone's trying their best. I mean, yes, most of them suck, but I mean, they're trying their best. Honestly, they are. They just suck horribly. Michael X beat me, so he's obviously better than me. But besides that, I mean, James Archangel, I've met him in person. He's a cool dude. I mean, besides that, yeah, everyone sucks. I feel like everyone else can eat ass or whatever the fuck they do in their spare time. I don't know. I mean, they just suck. It's just plain and simple. They just suck.
Wow, Victor Sagat.
Except for Taka, and because it's Taka.
Yeah. Yeah. Victor Sagat calling out damn near everybody on the roster. Jeez.
Well, that's how I play. I play rough, and if you don't like it, like I said, you can go fuck yourself.
You mentioned Michael X briefly. Could you talk about your match with him?
Well, for starters, he kicked the shit out of me. I mean, there's no and ifs or buts about it.
I saw the match. It was an excellent match.
He beat my ass. I mean, he damn near broke my back. There was parts in there where I feel like I couldn't do anything. But that's because he's such a good wrestler that it just showed me that I needed to be better. So for him, I say thank you. But For everyone else, just wait. Because when the time comes, and it will come, I'll have you on your back, begging me to stop beating you. Watch your backs.
Climbing those rungs ever steadily. So you mentioned that he almost broke your back. What exactly was the extent of that injury? It looked brutal.
Well, I had to take some time off because my back was severely messed up after that match. I had to be taken to the hospital. They took x-rays. They said I had to take some time off because there was some vertebrae in my back that were a little bit messed up. After taking some time, I feel like I can get back in the ring and do what I do best, which is kick ass and take names and chew bubblegum. I love chewing bubblegum, but I don't have any bubblegum left, so I guess I have to start kicking ass and taking names. That's what we do in this business. Kick ass, take names, and chew bubblegum. Michael X had my number that night, but it won't be that long till I'm facing him. And when I do, he better prepare himself because I'll be a different competitor at that point. I'll be better than I was that night, the first night I faced him. I will be the best version of myself that I can be, and I will show him why I deserve to be here.
You mentioned the fact that you had to take time off during that little monologue. It's often said that a wrestler's worst enemy is time off. But that being said, how do you usually spend yours if you're not working out?
If I'm not working out, let's see. Drinking. Working out, drinking. Working out, drinking, and I mean...
I know you spent a couple of minutes pretty much calling out the entire roster, but do you have any favorite matches, moments, or moves from the Gold Rush tournament thus far?
I mean, my match was fantastic, as you said. I mean, yeah, it ended in me being defeated, but it was one of the most memorable matches that I feel for me for that night. It was the most memorable moment in WYW for me.
And on that note, I think it's time for our second commercial break. When we come back, we look to the future and his match at Immortal. Don't touch that dial.
Victor Sagat will be teaming with Taka Michinoku as said previously in this episode. And Taka Michinoku is more than happy to team with the Lycan Victor Sagat, as Victor Sagat has high respect for Taka Michinoku, as Taka Michinoku does for Victor Sagat.
At Immortal, the Great One and the Lycan are going to destroy London Bridge and have it come crumbling down upon you assholes, 'cause Taka's coming, motherfucker.
A stable that does not respect Victor Sagat and Taka Michinoku, however, are the very same men that attacked Taka Michinoku to make a statement on Round 1, Episode 3 of the Gold Rush Tournament. Those men are Chris Foster, Matt Harrington, and Jack Robinson of the London Devastation. Kuzon would have his associates on to discuss this matter.
You've got to be joking. You've got to be joking. We've got the Duke on his own trashy dojo Power Ranger team. Now we got this old bastard teaming up with this guy. Now we got this old bastard teaming up with a guy who thinks he's some kind of werewolf. Why do we have to keep teaching this old man this lesson?
So it is all a bunch of rubbish, isn't it? But at least you get to share the spotlight as you crush them underfoot.
Agreeable, my dear friend. Of course you'll be there in our corner, correct?
Of course.
We have a common goal. These are real chums right here. What the hell are you two? You're not a team. We have for quite some time now, and trust me when I tell you, come hell or high water, you will know who we are. Even if we have to ring it into your heads.
We are the London Devastation.
Cool. Alright. Got what you wanted? Hey Baron, where's my fucking tea? Fucking wankers, you all suck at your job.
I swear the incompetency of this staff gives me conniptions.
London Devastation are out to prove why they are the best. And they're also looking to prove why they think Taka Michinoku should just go into retirement. But come hell or high water, Victor Sagat and Taka Michinoku will not go down without a fight, as the Marine and the former light heavyweight champion go to war with the Redcoats. Who will come out on top? Find out at Immortal at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday night. Make sure you check out our YouTube page and also follow us on Twitter at Weymouth Youth TC and on Instagram at Weymouth Youth Wrestling. We will now return you to your regularly scheduled program right after these messages.
Hi everybody, my name is Gary Hebert with the World Academy of Hockey.
We all know Gary's a great skater and also a great stick handler, enthusiasm. Your hands will get better, your goal will get better, you learn how to skate faster and better.
Developing that east to west lateral explosiveness. So that lateral explosiveness is going to lead to a lot more unpredictability and elusiveness on the ice. You know, now you see me, now you don't.
You really have to develop those skating skills and stick handling skills.
So listen, when you come to my camps or clinics, what we're after is this. We want to build a complete player, quote unquote, from the blades up. When we're on this ice, we're here to number one, work hard, number two, have fun. If we work hard and have fun, ain't nothing else that matters, okay? Improvement is inevitable if we're working hard and having fun. Isn't that right, Nick? See? Nick, isn't that right?
If you would like to try and go to Gary Hebert's World Academy of Hockey, please go to the website www.garyhebert.com. Right there will be a sign-up page for you to sign up anytime, anywhere. Make sure to also check out the schedule page and check out the different events that are on there to see what it's really all about. Gary Hebert's World Academy of Hockey, the breakthrough hockey performance center of North America. From the blades up.
Proud sponsor of Weymouth Youth Wrestling.
Home. It's where your story comes to life. Trust CertaPro painters to create the perfect setting as each new chapter unfolds. We're easy to work with, and our professional painters deliver the highest level of service. So wherever life leads, your home follows. CertaPro Painters. We do painting, you do life. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com.
Proudly sponsored by Weymouth Youth Wrestling.
And we're back with the Lycan Victor Sagat. Now, after talking for 20 minutes plus about his past, it is now time that we look to the future. As mentioned at the top of the show, you will be competing with Taka Michinoku against the London Devastation in what is sure to be a tag team match, a classic for all time. Do you have a message for the London Devastation beforehand?
London Devastation. What are they devastating? The goddamn bathrooms? Like, seriously. What do those guys even fucking do? Like, walk around like they're hot shit because there are 3 people or whatever the fuck they are. I don't even know how many people are in that fucking group. But they're pieces of shit that think they're better than everyone else. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised Michael X hasn't fucking destroyed them already. Like, I mean, honestly, in this business, we don't need 50 other fucking groups saying they're the best at what they do when they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Honestly, they walk around thinking they're all fucking la-di-da, I'm the best fucking guy in the business, but wait, there are 3 of you, so how can all 3 of you be the best guy in the fucking business? Tell me that. But my message to them, is watch your ass, fuckers. Because when me and Taka come into the goddamn ring, we are going to annihilate every fucking one of you. And let it be known that, quote me on this now, I will not let one of them out of that ring without an injury.
Well, you heard it here first. Wow. Victor Sagat pulling no punches. I like it.
I don't give a fuck, and you know that. Like, honestly, if everyone walked around on eggshells in the wrestling business, what would get done? Nothing. Nothing at all. We'd all be like, oh, well, there's Vince McMahon. Oh, well, there's this. Oh, well, there's this. Ooh, oh my God. We might get fucked up. There's Triple H. Like, stupid shit like that. Come on. Like, come on. The wrestling industry, we can't be pussyfooting it around being bitches all the time.
I almost don't know where to go from there. Bit of a stupid question, but they wrote it down for me, so I kind of have to ask.
Ask away. I'm kind of scared to hear what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What factors influenced your decision to team with Taka for this match at Immortal?
Are you fucking me right now? Why don't you just bend me over and fuck me in the goddamn ass with a goddamn chainsaw? Are you fucking me? Seriously, what it's fucking Taka. Get the fuck over yourself.
Wait, we're not done! He's gone. Damn it. Oh well, I guess that'll wrap things up here for Off the Books. I'm the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Casey Gallagher. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
A table from hell with the Psycho Asylum. An Iron Man match of factorial proportions. Man.
In this fight, I will melt you down to slag.
Versus Machine.
I calculate a 0.85% chance that you will win in your current condition.
All Metal Mayhem. Colleen Horizon.
When you throw me into the wolves, I will return leading the pack.
Vera McGarden.
I'll do anything to be the warrior on top.
For the Athena title, best friends turned bitter rivals. Johnny Starr.
Don't get in the way of the star or you'll get burned.
James, the Archangel.
I'm the real star of this brand.
For the international title, the Outsider, Mark Young. The Executioner, Michael X. For the WYW World Heavyweight title. 2 out of 3 fall.
Inside.
In a hell in a cell. WYW Immortal this Saturday night. Now available on these streaming platforms.